Straight from the curb where the asphalt burns, Maplewood streets where a lesson is learned. From the gritty blocks to the Door County line, Mark and Jeff are next in line. They left the shadows of the Door County neighborhood, doing things that the locals never could. From Maplewood truck to the woods of the Cape Cod, of the Midwest wild, they're trading the concrete for the Turtle Boy style. Two fearless warriors, hearts made of steel, on a YouTube mission to keep it real. Mark and Jeff, yeah, they're taking the crown, the baddest duo to ever hit this YouTube town. Mark and Jeff, they're calling, the stakes are high. Underneath that heavy Wisconsin sky, they aren't just creators, they're battle bound, changing the game, keeping their feet on the ground. The mics are on and cameras are rolling, the matchstick clock is counting the views and collecting the wins and doing it without sin. From Maplewood Tuck to the woods of the Cape Cod, of the Midwest wild, they're trading the concrete for the Turtle Boy style. Two fearless warriors, hearts made of steel, on a YouTube mission to keep it real. Mark and Jeff, yeah, they're taking the crown, the baddest duo to ever hit this YouTube town. Turning up the Door County heat. Mark and Jeff, they won't accept defeat. Click that button, join the fight. The man store flock are taking the lead tonight. Oh, Mark and Jeff, come join the flock and hit the share. Subscribe and like.
Hey. What's going on?
Everything, Jeff. The world is spinning, partly out of control.
It is spinning. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of things happening, and we're going to get to them today. And
brand new mic here. Thank you, Jeff. I hope it sounds good.
Mic. Holy smokes.
It's purple. I don't know if I'm good with the purple, man. You know, I'm a Packer fan, not a Viking fan.
Not a Viking fan, but look at that. That's a nice purple, though.
Yeah. It
wow.
Goes with my eyes. It matches my beautiful eyes, if everyone can't tell, right?
It sounded good. Good job.
All right. Thank you.
You hooked that up yourself. That's what's really good.
I'm halfway there.
One thing I want to start out, and I tried to get the word out on this yesterday, and let me see if I can find it. And I want everybody to go and subscribe to my buddy running for sheriff in our county that we grew up. And his name is Carl Waterstreet. And please, this is his introduction. I'm going to let you listen to him. The guy is not, we're going to talk a lot about Michael Proctor and the cops out in Massachusetts today, but this guy is nothing like that at all. He does really good and did a lot of good work when he was with the Department of Justice in Wisconsin here. And so let's listen to Carl here real quick, Mark.
All right, bring it on.
Hang on a second.
Things moving forward on how things are going to go. I appreciate all the support. It's been very, very humbling on.
You turn it up.
I don't know why it's so low. He doesn't understand his microphone, I guess.
It's actually kind of fun. I not a politician. I didn't know what to expect going into this campaign, but
We're going to have to get more volume out of them.
And going around and hearing the concerns and things that are going on in everybody's lives and how public safety can impact them has been.
Get real close to your TV or your computer so you can hear this, everybody.
I've learned a lot from a lot of people here. So I appreciate all the reaching out and I appreciate all the support so far. If there's anything that I can do further, make sure you reach out to me, waterstreetforsheriff.com or carlforsheriff@gmail.com, or go on the website and shoot me a text message or give me a phone call. My phone number is listed on there. If you want to know more about me, waterstreetforsheriff.com, or you just keep me right on YouTube. I'll be keeping up to date on things. And speaking of which, starting next week, moving forward, probably Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be releasing YouTube videos. And we'll probably sneak a Facebook Live in there once in a while, or maybe even go YouTube Live. Who knows? We'll take some live questions and see how things can progress that way. But Tuesdays we'll be releasing videos on the upcoming week.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to hear this, Jeff.
That's pretty low, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Everybody needs to go to his YouTube. It's Water Street for Sheriff. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. We got to get him some people on there so that the algos get better for him and everything. So hopefully the people that watch this later will do that. We really appreciate that. So Carl, Water Street for Sheriff in Door County. And we will hopefully get him to do better with his microphone. He's just got to turn it up. That's the big thing. Turn it up. Yeah. Everybody's worried about getting, too much, but they just got to turn it up. Turn it up as much as they can.
Turn it up.
So one thing I want to talk about, you brought up stuff about over there in Boston with the mayor and then also the governor. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that, Mark, because as we know, I truly believe when you have cops going wrong, it starts at the top. Because either they let them do wrong and they continue to let them do wrong and they don't stop it, or they're just as corrupt as what the cops are. And I don't know what's going on out there in Massachusetts, but right now it is something else. Everything is just, there's so much corruption. There's so much, we talk about the Karen Reed thing, with all the different fingers in that. But there's a Sandra Birchmore story out there that is just disgusting about how she wanted to be a cop. So she was in that early, whatever you call that, when kids want to be a cop, and Explorer program. And she was like 12 years old, 13 years old, going to these meetings and everything. Well, here these cops that were in charge of that groomed her and ended up, having sex with her when she was 14, 15 years old, and just disgusting. In Norfolk,
get names on those cops?
Well, one was William Farwell, and then he had a brother that was also, they were sharing. There was like 4 of them sharing. And the thing is that one of them is in custody because the feds came in. Norfolk County did, the whole investigation of this, right? Found nothing. Even though that the cop that they charged, that the feds charged, had 40,000 text messages with this girl, but they said, oh, we didn't see nothing. We didn't see nothing.
Classic.
So, in Norfolk County is, of course, the county that tried to pin Karen Reed with the murder of her boyfriend, the Boston cop. And William Morrissey is the DA out there, has to be the most corrupt person ever. And he just continues. He will not charge this guy, but the feds did. And his name is Farwell. And like I said, his brother is another one that was involved. But he got out of Dodge. He moved to New Mexico, of all things. So, and then there was another one that ran the thing, and he was involved. Well, she ended up years later from that, like when she was 20 years old, became pregnant with, she said, the Farwell baby. Well, the night that he went over to kill her, allegedly, he was supposed to be at the hospital with his wife having a child. But he went over there, strung her up, I guess, hung her, and then, left and went back to the hospital like nothing happened. She died. Yes.
Okay.
And so they have him coming out of the building, Mark, at the same time that her phone stopped interacting and everything, have him coming out of her apartment building on camera, and the DA sat there and said, "No, we didn't notice anything." You know? And it's like
that's coming back to life.
Well, there's a lot of things coming to life with him, and of course, he's not running for DA anymore because we all know why.
Yeah.
But his understudy is running, and I guess he's as bad. So, so yourself, if you don't change the program, the voting, you're going to continue to have that stuff represented, and that's what you got. I mean, when you look at what, like I said, this is one thing, and we're going to look a little bit of the cross-examination during the Karen Reed trial of Michael Proctor. But this Michael Proctor, he is the lead investigator to Karen Reed, who I believe he is the one that he set her up. He's the one. And now I'm not saying he's the only one. Okay, there's others involved with this, but he was the lead investigator. Of course, when he got the trial and they found out that, his personal text messages and phone calls, that he was basically going to be fired. Of course, then they said, well, he wasn't really the lead, investigator. He was just the officer in charge.
Then so they tried the lead investigator if he wasn't who's next up to bat, right?
Yeah. So they were trying, to get rid of, to distance themselves from him. But yesterday it came out because Karen Reed is in a civil lawsuit with the cops and the people that try to hang it on her, and they want his phone. They want all the stuff from his phone. So they went to court yesterday, and hang on a second. They went to court yesterday to try to get his phone, and one of the lawyers got up, Attorney Scarpiccio, a woman that is just, I mean, if I ever got in trouble in Boston, she'd be my first hire, I think.
Okay. And she's Karen Reed's lawyer?
She's a different lawyer that's representing somebody else that Michael Proctor might have set up. We don't know. So she's representing that. Well, anyway, she got up and, she's arguing about the phone, that they need that stuff and all that. And she goes, Judge, we see that he has a text message that says, it's time to other cops. He did a string text message, a group text message to cops, other cops, state troopers in the Canton Police Department. And it said, kill an N word today. That's what his text message was in Canton. And it was like, wow. And this is a guy that everybody's supposed to respect. And it's kind of funny because everybody that was, that's against Karen Reed, and everybody says it's, that she's the drunk and she did it and blah, blah, blah. And everybody picked on Michael Proctor and all this kind of stuff. Michael Proctor went on 2020 mark during all this. And they asked him, 2020 guy asked him, he said, is there anything that you'd do different? Absolutely not. Nope. I did everything right.
Identified about 30 things that a fourth grader probably would have thought of.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. But yourself, and this is what, before we get to what you found out, yourself, when you work with somebody, some of this stuff has started like in 2012, I believe, with Proctor, with his cohorts. Now, I know from just working on things, in my career, after working a while with somebody, where they stand politically, where they stand on racism, you just don't sit there and go, well, I never knew that he was like that.
Yeah.
It just don't happen.
Conversations, you float balloons up there, test balloons, just to see where people's heads at.
Right.
And it's pretty quick.
And for anybody that can sit there and say that they didn't know this guy was like that, that's a damn lie. It's a lie. And it's shame on them. Also, it's not shame on Proctor. Shame on them for allowing this to happen, because
that's professional negligence right there.
Because he had people that were his bosses in these text messages, and they never did anything. But you know what one of the bosses said? Well, I was in South Carolina. I wasn't checking my phone. I didn't know I was on that text message. Right? I wasn't. Yeah, it's just all, that's how they do it out there, because they were so used to getting away with things because of this Michael Morrissey, I think, and others that they just, that's just the way, it was a normal day for them. And it's pretty sad when you think of it, but they will, I think, in the end, I hope, because now it's like, Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney is his name. He's getting sued for, defamation of character for the people that were in the house where John O'Keefe, that's where Karen Reed's boyfriend, that's his name. He was found in a yard in front of the house of this Boston cop. And that's where they said that Karen Reed ran him over. He didn't have any broken bones, and he didn't get hit by a vehicle. A 6,000-pound Lexus. He didn't get hit, and so they put him out there. And this is the other thing, Mark, I didn't tell you about that, is that they said he died. Everybody's saying that he had hypothermia, right? Because it was cold and it was snowstorm and everything. Right. Well, the medical person said no, he didn't have that. So if he was out there, say from 12:30 when she hit him until 6 o'clock the next morning, he would have had, I don't know what it takes, but he would have had hypothermia if it was cold.
What did they say? He died of a head injury?
Well, they said that he died, basically from the head injury. That's what everybody says. But this Morrissey said, no, he was hit by a car and he was out there and he had hypothermia. Well, it came back, he didn't have hypothermia. Yeah. And, so it was just lies from all the way through. So it was just crazy. But what about you for what did you find out? I know you did some research on the Boston mayor and you did some research on the governor. And please, I want everybody to know we're not being political. I'm not being political. I believe, this is my belief, and you can take it to the bank. I believe everybody that's elected official should be a term limit. That's what I believe. Okay. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat. And I believe that if they're not doing the work for the people that voted them in, then they need to be out of there. That's my belief. No, It doesn't make a difference.
At the end of the day, you need checks and balances, and you actually need to then incorporate them and work them. And the checks and balances should be in there. And half of this fraud stuff that we're seeing come out wouldn't take place. I mean, it keeps everybody honest, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be happening. And we can call it a doing bad stuff segment or wackadoodle, but they all mesh together because and if people don't know what I mean when I call people wackadoodle, it's right. Just a nice way of not calling them a shithead. I mean, it really is. But it's probably worse than a shithead, So right. These wackadoodles, and we'll talk about the mayor, or not the mayor, the governor. And if you're not aware of what's going on there, they have an audit position. They have this lady, I can't pronounce her name, I just butcher it, but she is the auditor. It's her job, checks and balances. Where is the money going and how is it being spent? Well, she's asking the governor's office and the legislature, who keeps track of this stuff, to give up the numbers. And they're like, no, you can't have the numbers. And she's like, how can I do my job and checks and balances if I can't, have the numbers? So the legislature, which is controlled at this time by the Democrats, and so is the governor, they're in cahoots saying they're not giving it up. Well, they did a referendum, apparently, and the referendum was basically saying, give the numbers, let's full transparency. Right. And came back, 72% of Massachusetts said, yeah, show us the numbers. Well, we know that 72% of that state is really on the left. So it's a bipartisan thing. It isn't one side or the other, but it just so happens there's a side of the legislature that's not going to give it up. So they're still digging. They're going to court. That's probably going to go to the Supreme Court of some sort and say, you got to give it up. But that's going to be another level of exposure for that whole group.
So what is the millions of dollars they put in these immigrants? What was I was reading a little bit about massages and what the heck was this all about?
That's not the governor. That's another thing. That's mayor.
Another thing. Okay.
The governor, we don't know where the fraud and abuse, or even if there is. I mean,
But the governor though is the state is bringing the money down to Boston, right? I mean, that's where they're getting the
No,
money.
I don't know where the money is coming
Okay.
from. I think it's
Right.
coming out of the Boston treasure chest.
Treasury.
I can't even
Okay.
speak of it. Yeah, so we don't know if there's any fraud at the governor, in that audit, because you can't figure it out until you get the numbers. So that's
Right.
that's just people not using their head, knuckleheads. They just
Wow.
open up full transparency. And then what you were talking about, the massages, that's almost as goofy. So there's a department of I don't know, for lack of a better phrase, people that aren't doing as good as us that are also illegal immigrants, or
Okay. All
if
right.
they're part of the LGBTQ XYZ plus community, they get free massages. It's like a wellness gift, and they're giving out $500 to $5,000 to get wellness support, and it's from massages to pedicures to again, I would hope that there's some mental health coaching in that,
Wow.
but it didn't expose that. So, and this is coming from Mayor Wu out of Boston, and yeah, if you're listening to us and you're falling into that category, you get a massage. I might claim to be gay or something. Just so I need a back massage. If someone's going to pay for it, I'm all about it. Rub away. Here we go.
I think the governor is a lesbian. I don't know if Mayor Wu is. Somebody would have to tell me that one, but I know the governor is. And I mean, it's, and like I said, if you want change, if everybody's sitting there, they want change out there, the only way you get change is not vote these people in. That's the only way you get change.
Yeah.
And, it starts at the local level to go all the way to the governor. And you got to
educate yourself too.
Right.
Open up your eyes, because this information is out there. I mean, it's coming from AI, independent news organizations. Some of it's coming from the Boston Television, where I read one article, and they're not happy about it. So when the Boston newspapers are turning on you, you're like, maybe I should think this through a little bit differently.
As long as you didn't see anything by Sue O'Connell out there. She's a reporter, I think, with one of the Boston TV stations, and she's just horrible. She's horrible. I know she tried to be on the Karen Reed side during the trial and everything, but I think deep down she's just not a very good person. But like I said, for stuff to change out there, people are going to have to get together and just, and that's not the only state. I mean, California is horrible. I mean, and I know everybody say, "Oh, you're picking on Democrats because that's Democrat-run states." No, because there's the Republicans that are just as goofy as some of the Democrats. But the thing is, if you're going to clean it up, you got to clean it up from the top. And if you expect your police officers to be better, well, they got to have first of all, better training, better education. And that all comes from the top. That all comes, getting the resources to give those people better training and better education. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I got a friend in New Hampshire who teaches at the police academy.
Okay.
And so I figure him to be a pretty reliable source, but he talks about, the hiring practices certainly have to be there, that you get the qualified person come in. But as you said a number of times already today, it starts at the top. And he said, you look at the ICE. Yeah, they're making some mistakes, but now they're addressing those, and they admitted to some of those, but it starts at the top, and they made some changes there already. But he said they train a lot of cops from all over New England, and you can tell, he said, the ones that have a good sheriff and a good program in place, one that get quality candidates to come to the academy or come to the technical college, I think is where they run the classes out of. And he says you can really tell the difference.
I mean, it's tough right now, to get people to be a cop,
right?
Because of all the bad pub from everybody. So I mean that's another thing. Get the right people in, and train them. But so I mean it's a long struggle out there. I mean there's a lot of things going on that are backfiring on the cops out there in Massachusetts, and to think that Karen Reed opened the eyes to a lot of this, her and the Sandra Birchmore story opened the eyes to a lot of things that's going on out there, and hopefully it in the end you want change. That's the biggest thing. You want change. And because anybody, any one of us could have been a Karen Reed, could have been a daughter, somebody's daughter. Anybody could have been a Karen Reed in this thing. It was Karen Reed, but anybody, this could have happened to anybody, what she went through. And thank goodness that she had the support and the funds to fight for her life, because her life was on the line. And now, you had asked me yesterday, you had said, well, how can you be so mean to the mom and the brother and all that lost the brother and lost the son in this. And the reason why, like I told you, John O'Keefe's mom would go to court and she'd see Turtle Boy and she'd be giving him the finger. And like I told you, there's ways that I understand people mourn in different ways. But his brother, okay, his name was Paul O'Keefe. And this is a story I didn't tell you about, but I'm going to play a little voicemail. He is married, has a couple of kids, okay? And while he was in court, Mark, he knew that it was on, TV, like court TV. It was being broadcast, the trial of Karen Reed. He was giving signals to a woman that he met on the internet that he said he was in love with. And it was, some of the things he was saying to her. Well, anyway, this woman, I guess he had promised this woman that he was having this online thing with, that he was getting a divorce or something, he was leaving his wife or whatever. And it didn't happen. Well, the woman, because she knew what was going on, she sent all the text messages and the video and the phone messages to Turtle Boy, Turtle Boy of all people, right?
Yeah.
And so this is one of the phone messages. Now he would give signals to this girl on the camera, like if he wore blue, he was thinking of her, and then if he touched his face, touched his nose, it was like he was a third base coach. He was touching him, all over, giving her messages. So this is his. Hopefully, I can share this.
I got a message for you, Jeff.
What's that?
No, I'm not going to do it.
so this is the thing. This was his voicemail that he messaged, and a Turtle Boy's playing it. Okay, just so you know, and it's hilarious. So let's share this thing. Let me see if I can do this so that everybody can see this. So Turtle Boy, she sent this to Turtle Boy. All right, and this is Paul O'Keefe, the brother of John O'Keefe that was killed and left on the property of Brian Elbert, who was a Boston cop. John O'Keefe was a Boston cop. And this is John O'Keefe's brother. He's married, and he's, boy, it's out in New England. What's going on with the New England guys that are married all of a sudden? There's a lot of things going on there, too.
She had to be pregnant, too. Right?
But so anyway, she sends it to Turtle Boy because she got pissed off at Paul. And she goes, all right, I'll get you, So here, just listen to this. It's actually pretty disturbing. So here we go. Let me see where I can get this.
From the truth, but
can't hear it.
I don't know. Think what you want. Hi, sweetheart. So here's the thing. It's like, I think you are so sweet and so nice.
Never met her.
So caring and obviously like stunningly gorgeous. It's like that's a whole other thing. But I've really enjoyed like talking to you and getting to know you, and kind of feel like I do know you at this point. It's kind of fucking weird, but I just really like you, and I know you
It
think
sounds
I'm
like a high schooler.
to like everybody on the side, but that's
We should just write her a note.
The furthest thing from the truth, but I don't know. Think what you want, but we don't think that. But I just really enjoy talking to you. So thank you.
What a piece of shit.
So here he is. This is at the trial. It's the trial of his brother, and he's giving this girl signals on the camera, and then he's leaving her messages. And then he's leaving her messages because I told you Dunkin' Donuts is big out in Massachusetts because their headquarters in Canton, Massachusetts. He's telling her that he wishes that she was a Dunkin' Donut and all that. And I don't know what that was all about, Mark. I didn't know the whole story. I didn't want to know.
I know all about that. That's the line I use to get married.
So, I mean, it's like, what is this? That's a pinhead right there. I mean, that's not even a wackadoodle. That's a pinhead.
Yeah.
I mean that. And he tells this girl in the text message, "Oh, I don't even like my kids."
Oh my gosh. Is he still alive? Somebody should take him to a snowbank.
Get this. His wife is, as of right now, I think, is still with him. So what is that about? When
you just got to look at the gene pool in their neighborhood. I mean, it's got to somehow we got to thin that out.
Yeah.
How you do it is up to your own imagination.
But here, this is what I wanted to also show you. This is from yesterday. This is what I was telling you about what Michael Proctor said, and this is Attorney Scarpiccio, and she's a dynamo. I mean, and this is what happened when she was telling the judge. And you could tell that the judge was like, "Yeah, I don't want. I know, I know, But she got it out there when everybody didn't think she was going to get it out there, but she did get it out there. Okay. See if I can do this here, and see if I can. StreamYard sometimes is very hard to maneuver, and I don't know why, but hopefully I can.
My judge is snoozing. What's he doing?
He tries to be like a little off the cuff and everything, but sometimes it gets weird with him.
We don't really have a position with respect to anything that's going on here.
Yeah.
We're here for 3 reasons. One, because again, we want to explain to the court that this protective order is ridiculous. He doesn't meet any of conditions for which a protective order should issue. He's not a victim. He doesn't need protection. No one has threatened him. He said some vulgar, disgusting things that apparently repeatedly from 2014 to 2022.
Who is she representing?
Like it's
representing sitting down next to her to the right.
And so protective orders from my purposes are interfering with my client's ability to get a
involved with the
right now, my client is in his house at the Norfolk County House of Correction. We moved mountains to get him access to what we call the Proctor material. And right now there's a 44,000 page report that comes from his phone. And then additional information, close to 70,000 documents that he has to review. Right now he gets 2 hours a week to review them. He's got a November trial date. It's not going to happen, Judge. It's taken me almost 7 months to get through the bulk of what was happening with Trooper Proctor. So I'm here again, Judge, saying that this man should not be treated any differently than any other witness in any other case. Why are we protecting him? Why is the Commonwealth protecting him? Why is anyone protecting him? The public should get to know exactly who he is and what he's done. They do that with any witness. If it's a regular witness who appears before any judiciary body and they've done something wrong, they have criminal records that they plaster all over the front page of papers. Nothing like that is private. And so why are we considering this private in this case, Judge? And that's really the issue that I have. And I've also, we're not arguing today, Judge, but I've filed motions in both Mr. King and Mr. Johnson's case for materials regarding Mr. Proctor's hiring, Mr. Proctor's application, Mr. Proctor's, whoever reviewed that application, any of the exhibits to that application, and then any and all of his training, because I think his lawyer said it best. Our point is that he's biased. It's certainly against Black and brown individuals. I think Ms. Reed has a different issue, and I'm not disputing that he's biased against women as well. But in this case, Judge, our position is that it's not a separate entity. In other words, when we did the Ellis case, and when we knew the police officers at Ellis were committing crimes, in the beginning, when the first lawyers filed that motion for new trial, we couldn't connect the crimes to the actual the conviction in Elk. And it took us 18 years to be able to do that. We were able to finally connect it. This is completely different. This isn't like that. It's not a separate entity. It's who this man is. He's a racist, really a racist person from the beginning. Some of the things that he says, Judge, which I know you've heard through the grapevine, but some of the things that he says, like he'll say things like, "It's kill an N-word in Canton Day." Everybody get there. Like,
I
this
get
is
your
what we're
point.
dealing with, Judge.
I get your
So
point.
what are we protecting? That's
All
what I can't figure out. What are we protecting here?
Okay.
Why isn't he subject to the same type of scrutiny that every other witness and every other case is subject to? And I'm saying it specifically to Mr. Johnson, who's in custody, who doesn't have access to his materials, who can't be ready for a November trial date unless we do something different, Judge. And in this case, the difference that I want the court to consider is to be able to give him all of these materials in paper form, in a single cell, so he can review them and be ready for his November trial date. That's what I'm asking.
Thanks very much.
Who is the Johnson guy she was talking about? Mr. Johnson?
That's another case that she's representing. But this is the thing, Mark. Now all this stuff is going to come out, right? Sooner or later, it's going to come out what this guy's done. How many people are sitting in jail right now because of this guy and maybe the corruption that he's done?
Well, what puts it at risk is there are probably some shitheads that are rightfully in prison and jail,
Right.
that he worked on, and now they're going to bring those trials up for question because the bias that he has. So that's going to be a mess.
They'll all be questioned. So just to show you a little bit about what he's about, and you'll notice right away that it seems like all state troopers, most of them anyway, all are bald head out in Massachusetts. I don't know if that's an intimidation thing that they do. They just shave their heads.
But
I'm going
wear
to give
those
you
wigs out there.
I'm going to give you a little bit of Michael Proctor on the stand during the Karen Reed being cross-examined by Karen Reed's lawyer. And this will give you a complete understanding of what this guy's about. And hopefully I can get to this, and we'll watch a little while of this because this will, like I said, this will give you a kind of a good reading. And you'll see Paul, that's Paul right in the front row with his wife on the right. And let's go.
Trooper Proctor, in the summer of 2022, August 17th specifically,
This is Karen's lawyer.
you were sitting at your desk, presumably alone at your office, at about 10 p.m. at night, going through my client's personal cell phone, correct?
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, you were sitting there texting with your friends and colleagues at Massachusetts State Police about you going through her personal cell phone. Is that right?
Correct, sir.
And that
This is
included
Proctor
Trooper
on the stand?
DeChico,
On the stand,
is that
yeah.
right?
The Chico, yes, sir.
Trooper Fanning, Trooper Buchnick, Trooper Moore, and Trooper Kutzkowski.
This is
Kakowski.
another text message.
Tell me that again.
Kakowski.
Kakowski.
Yes, sir.
All right, all the consonants are silent. Fair enough. Trooper Fanning and Trooper Buchnick are your supervisors.
Yes.
And you were bragging to all 5 of them that you were going through Karen Reed's cell phone about 9:45 at night.
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Is that right?
No, I wasn't bragging, sir.
But you were
How
going
did
through
you
it.
refer to Ms. Reed in that text exchange where you informed them that you were going through her phone?
I use regrettable language. I said going through his retarded client's phone right now.
You were shown a photograph of my colleague, Mr. Unetti, correct?
Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
Same document on you. Oh, Your Honor, I think the court has the copy that I was going to use.
Oh, I thought I gave him back to him.
You'd received a photograph. Actually, Your Honor, if I could, I would ask that this document be marked as next in order.
He's not even reading it.
verifies its authenticity.
So
No.
go ahead.
He knows what it says.
Do you recognize this document?
I do, sir.
Same document that you were shown, copy of the same document that you were shown by Mr. Unetti, correct?
Still Lally.
I've done that twice. Mr. Lally.
Correct.
All right. Is that a true and accurate reflection of the text messages that you were exchanging with Chris Moore, Jeff Kakowski, John Fanning, Vito DeChico, and Yuri Buchanan?
Yes.
I've asked that this be marked.
Okay, any objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll see you outside down there. Have that, please.
Yes, ma'am.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes.
Trooper Proctor, Trooper DeChico had sent you a photograph of my colleague, Mr. Yannetti, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, because of the technical issue, I'm not going to display on the television. May I display this hard copy briefly?
Sure.
Thank you. You see that, gentleman?
I do, sir.
Is that the photograph that you received?
Yes.
Is that what you referred to on direct examination with Mr. Lally about receiving a photograph from of Mr. Yannetti?
Correct.
And then your response was what?
I hate that man. I truly hate that man.
Actually, your response was, I'm going through his retarded client's phone right now, correct?
Yes, after the picture, sir. Yes.
Who's the retarded client?
I was referring to Miss Reed again, unprofessional language.
I'm asking for who you were referring to.
Miss
I know
Reed.
You got an explanation. Who was it that you were referring to as retarded?
Miss Reed.
Karen Reed, the woman sitting to my left.
Yes, sir.
The subject of your investigation as a professional, correct?
Yes, sir.
As an unbiased, objective investigator, the person that you were investigating, you referred to your bosses as retarded, correct?
Again, poor language on my part.
Poor language is one way to put it. Completely offensive is another way to put it, right?
Objection.
I've got to sustain that, Mr. Jackson.
After you referred to my client as retarded, then you decided to make a comment about Mr. Yannetti, her lawyer, correct?
Correct.
And what did you say about Mr. Yannetti again?
I hate that man. I truly hate that man.
I hate that man. I truly hate him, correct?
Correct.
You didn't say I dislike him, disagree with him. You said I hate him, correct?
Correct, sir.
That's a visceral response.
He's going to
Someone
get
who's
him
just doing a
to
job,
admit to it
right?
about 10 times
Objection.
because every time he says I did it,
Sustained. You
the
can ask it
jury is
differently.
probably going,
Sure. Let me ask it this
shithead,
way.
shithead,
Were you
shithead.
upset or annoyed or pissed off that Karen Reed had gotten representation, legal representation, to represent her?
No, not at all. That's her right.
Well, let me ask you this. In August of 2022, you said you absolutely hate him, correct?
I don't know if we use absolutely. Yeah, I didn't use absolutely, sir.
You used truly, correct?
Truly, yes.
How do you feel about him now? He's sitting right there.
I still don't care for him now.
I'll let it stand.
What did you tell your colleagues that you were looking for as you sat at almost 10
There
p.m.
you
at
go.
night
Watch
on
it.
a Wednesday
Listen to this
night,
now.
August 17th, 2022, looking through Karen Reed's phone?
I didn't tell them I was looking through anything. They knew I was going through Miss Reed's phone. I provided a inappropriate joke as an update. They knew I was going through location data, text messages, Google searches. But like I had mentioned earlier, I had to stop.
Except Trooper Proctor, none of that really professional sounding stuff ended up in your comments to your bosses, did it?
Again, it was a poor joke.
Is that yes or no?
Did not know.
It did not.
No,
As a
sir.
matter of fact, what did you write after you talked about going through the, quote, retarded client's phone?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
No nudes so far.
No nudes so far, correct?
Correct.
And you said that to your bosses.
Yes, sir.
You were looking for naked photographs of Miss Reed on a Wednesday night as you sat in your office at 9:44 p.m., correct?
No, not correct.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked for naked photos of a male suspect that you were investigating?
I don't look for naked photos on anyone's phones.
But you said you were looking for nudes of Miss Reed,
Like I had
correct?
said, Mr. Jackson, it was an inappropriate joke.
Not a joke.
Sir, this is a citizen. She's a woman. You were supposed to be objectively investigating. Does your text message to your colleagues at Massachusetts State Police reflect an objective investigation of a citizen?
Objection.
You can get part of that question and ask it again.
Do you believe that your text messages were reflective of an objective investigator?
Objection.
I'll allow that. Do you believe that, Trooper Proctor?
I believe poor jokes have, in unprofessional language, have no bearing on the
MJ.
integrity and the facts and physical evidence of this case.
It's not that they don't have any bearing on the facts and integrity. It's that they have no place in a professional investigation because it shows bias, right?
Objection.
So I have to sustain that as asked. Go ahead and ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
You weren't so much as objectively investigating Karen Reed as objectifying her, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
Isn't that right?
Rephrase the question, please.
You weren't so much as objectively investigating her as objectifying her in those
I
moments.
think that's vodka.
correct?
Again,
I
Mr.
would
Jackson,
need-
it was a poor choice of words and a joke that I should not have texted out. But from the start of the investigation, we didn't know what we had.
And your, Trooper Proctor, your point in saying no nudes so far to your colleagues in Massachusetts State Police was to suggest that you were looking for nudes and you'd update them when you found them, correct?
Incorrect.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did you find any nudes of
Again.
Karen Reed?
I didn't go through the photo, sir.
Did you find any nudes of Karen Reed?
I didn't go through the photo, sir.
You weren't successful in your quest.
I came across text messages from Miss Reed to another attorney on January 29th, so I had to stop looking through her phone.
So you got sidetracked.
Yeah, right,
Before you
Mark.
get to the naked pictures of Miss Reed. Is that what you're saying?
Sustained.
To be
That
clear,
was
when you
probably
sent
the
those
only
text
thorough
messages
thing you did was go through the
on that group
Right.
chat, those text messages included, as we said, or as you said, not one, but two of your supervisors, correct?
Correct.
Were you ever reprimanded for your conduct in sending that text message?
Objection.
So that's sustained. Do we need to go to sidebar based on what you told me earlier?
We do not.
Okay, so,
I'll ask it a different way.
okay.
Did either Trooper Fanning or Trooper Buchanan dress you down in a responsive text message in that text thread for doing something so abhorrent as looking for nudes or referring to nudes of a female suspect or subject of your investigation? Did that ever happen?
Not that I can recall.
As a matter of fact, in reference to one of the text messages in this same string, your boss, Yuri Buchanan,
looks like
actually
she's
responded
talking
to
into a
a
cup.
photo of
He's not on the microphone.
Mr. Yannetti, didn't he?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
He's got to look like he doesn't know, Mark.
Yeah.
He did, sir.
After you received the photo, that's when you said, I'm, quote, funny, I'm going through his retarded client's phone. Is that right?
Objection.
I'll allow this, but not too many more.
Sure. Is that correct? It's on the top of page
Yes, sir.
685.
That's correct.
And Yuri Buchanan liked that comment. Funny, I'm going through his retarded client's phone. Didn't he?
I see you laughed at an image here, sir. I can't tell if he liked that comment, sir.
May I approach?
Yes.
I don't know if it's just
Mark, what's funny about this is that, and it's not funny, but he said, if you didn't before, he said he doesn't look for nudes, right, in people's phones and everything. Well, now it's come up that was sending domestic violence people, women, taking their nudes pics of their breast and sending it to his high school buddies.
Oh, jeez.
So he basically lied on the stand when he said that, because now they found out that in his phone he had been sending out pictures like that.
He's probably sending dick pics out too.
I mean, it's just, I mean, when you think of all this stuff going on, he was just a horrible person.
Yeah.
And he was a guy that was in charge, Mark. That's the whole thing of this. And when we say that this is like you said, what's bad is that he probably did put away some people that deserve to be put away. But now all those, I mean, there's going to be people wanting out because of all what he's done.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and I want to get to the parts here where he goes after Karen Reed. It might take just a little bit more to get there, but I want you to hear what he said about Karen Reed. I mean, some really just disgusting stuff.
Because it's faded, or yeah, my copy's faded.
Top 2685. You can use my copy if that helps.
All right. Thank you.
What do you see on the top of that?
Thank you. I'm sure he said that.
Sergeant
He's pretty
Mechanic liked
polite
it.
now.
Like what?
The going through his retarded client's phone, sir.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'll take my copy.
There you go.
I think Karen's Reed lawyer loves that part, huh?
Yeah.
He wants to say that over and over and
So
over
your
again.
supervisors at Massachusetts
He said
State
it
Police
so natural. I thought he just said it
obliged you
as a
to making
matter of
comments like
fact.
this. Encouraged it.
Objection.
Sustained.
Trooper Proctor, this is your direct chain of command. Is that right? You're a Buchanan.
Yes, sir.
Did you believe that your conduct was a misuse of your authority and power as you were going through her phone in August of 2022?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
No, I had a warrant signed by a district clerk, Stoughton district clerk, to go through Miss Reed's phone. I don't think it was an abuse of power. I had every right to go through that phone.
Did the warrant say anything about looking for nudes of my client?
Objection.
Did it
No, Your
say anything about that?
no, Your Honor.
Okay, next question.
So that would be an abuse of the power that was given to you by the court, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Trooper Proctor, you'd agree that the hallmark of any good investigation, as you've been taught and others in the Massachusetts State Police have been taught, is that the investigation and the investigator have to be fair. They have to be impartial. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Meaning that the investigation has to be free of conflicts, right?
Yes, sir.
The investigator has to be free of conflicts, right?
Yes,
The investigation has to be free of bias. Is that right?
correct.
You can't be biased against the person that you're investigating. That would compromise the entire thing, wouldn't it?
Yes,
Basically, you follow the evidence. You're supposed to follow the evidence wherever it takes you, right?
correct.
Good or bad, top to bottom, just follow the evidence and report it back. That's how an investigation is supposed to be run, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And these are things that you learn early on at Massachusetts State Police Academy and then in your detective training. Isn't that right?
It is.
Literally, it's part of an oath that you took at the academy that you will, quote, faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all of the duties incumbent on you as a Massachusetts State Police trooper, right?
Yes, sir.
You swore that oath.
I did.
When you start an investigation, everybody in that investigation should be treated exactly the same. Don't you believe that's true?
Correct.
Everybody, have you ever heard the phrase, everybody's a suspect until they're not? Right?
Objection.
Sustained.
He answered it too quick.
It's especially important early in an investigation before all of the facts are known that the investigator is not compromised by bias, prejudice, right?
Correct.
Most important early in the investigation, because that's when the most things are up in the air. There's the cloud, the fog of not knowing exactly what the truth is, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
In other words, Trooper Proctor, you don't get to pick a suspect and then try to find evidence to support your choice, right?
Correct.
But in this case, it's exactly what you did, isn't it?
Absolutely not.
All right, Mr. Jackson, why don't we end for today? All right, go right ahead,
Thank
Mr.
you, Your Honor.
Jackson.
Trooper Proctor, I'm going to ask you if you wouldn't mind to turn to tab 2 in the binder in front of you.
Want to thank the trial channel too. I took this from the trial
Can
channel.
you take a look at the face page of what's under tab 2 and tell me if you recognize that?
Yes, sir. It's a private text thread with high school friends.
Here
And
we
this
go.
includes 9 chat participants that you engaged with.
That's correct.
Those participants include people by the name of Bird, Whitey, and Doc, correct?
Correct.
And then there's some other folks in there. They're identified by at least the last 4 digits of their phone number, correct?
Yes.
So this is a group text or a group chat with you and 8 of your high school friends about this investigation, correct?
Yes.
Trooper Proctor, you never thought when you were engaged with these other 8 individuals that this particular set of chats would ever become public, did you?
No, I do not.
I want to take a look at page 2527. If you could turn, that's on the bottom right of the document in tab 2. Do you have that page in front of you?
Yes, sir.
You recognize that this group chat was taking place on January 29th at about 10:52 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And the person that I'll identify as 5051, that's the last 4 digits of that phone number, indicates Chip, name of that BPD cop, correct?
Correct.
First of all, you indicated on Monday that you're Chip, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You responded at 10:53 p.m., John O'Keefe, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you were willing to tell just a few hours into an investigation of the death of a Boston police officer, you were willing to tell a bunch of high school buddies details about the investigation, including the name of the victim, correct?
At this point, it's 16 hours later, sir.
Oh,
Not a
that's a
few.
big difference, Mark.
16 is a few hours, correct? I'm not talking about days later.
It was about 16 hours later, sir.
Correct. And you identified John O'Keefe as the Boston police officer who is fallen in the yard at 34 Fairview, correct?
Correct.
You also informed, if you will skip to page 2529, you also informed these same folks, these same high school buddies that, quote, all the powers that be want answers ASAP, correct?
Yes.
You knew, Trooper Proctor, that there was brass that wanted this case wrapped up quickly and efficiently. Isn't that right?
Objection.
Oh, well, is that what you were thinking?
No, the people wanted answers, sir.
They didn't just want answers. They wanted answers ASAP. What does ASAP mean?
That's as soon as possible.
Right. And you were texting this to your high school friends, again, 16 hours into this investigation, right?
Correct.
And you knew at that time, Trooper Proctor, that this was not going to implicate in any way, shape, form, or fashion another cop, correct?
Correct.
In this text exchange, let's turn to 2532, actually. Do you have that in front of you?
I do.
In this text exchange at 10:56 p.m., your buddy Bird writes, I'm sure the owners of the house will receive some shit, correct?
Correct.
How did you take that to mean? Did you take that to mean that he could get in trouble?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what my friend was getting at.
Well, you had some idea.
Yeah,
That the owners of the house isn't going to get any shit for this, right?
That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, you interpreted it like he's not going to get in any trouble. He's not going to be a suspect, correct?
Correct.
And he's not going to be implicated in any way. Is that right?
Correct.
And your answer was one word, correct?
Yes.
What was that word?
Nope.
And then you followed that up with an explanation as to why you said no, didn't you?
That wasn't the explanation why I said nope. I simply said homeowner was a Boston cop too, meaning Mr. O'Keefe was a Boston cop. The homeowner was a Boston cop as well.
The question that preceded your answer, nope, the homeowner's a Boston cop too, was the homeowner's going to get some shit for this, correct?
That's not what I meant with that text.
That's what you wrote.
Not what I meant, sir.
All right, let's take it in order. Question. Oh goodness, the homeowner's going to get some shit for this. Answer, nope. Next text, he's a Boston cop too. That doesn't sound like an explanation for your nope.
No, that's just saying he's a Boston cop as well. Mr. O'Keefe is a
And that's
Boston cop.
why he's not going to get any shit. Correct, Trooper Proctor?
Well, he's not going to receive any shit, sir, because Mr. Albert, the homeowner, had nothing to do with Mr. O'Keefe's death.
And you knew this 16 hours into your investigation.
Yes.
Less than a day.
Yes.
To your satisfaction.
To my satisfaction
And
and
you
to the
hadn't
members
been
of my
to the
unit.
crime scene?
So let him finish. We didn't get the, finish
Some-
your answer.
To my satisfaction and to all the members of my unit who investigated that day.
Objection. Calls for speculation.
So I'm going to let it stand. Trooper Proctor, you have to keep your voice up, okay? Jurors need to hear you way back there.
Yes, ma'am.
The fact of the matter is, you hadn't been to the crime scene by the time you wrote this text, correct?
Correct.
You hadn't been inside the home, correct?
No.
You had you had questioned a grand total of 3 percipient witnesses at this point, correct?
Yes.
And 2 of the 3 were named McCabe, right?
Correct.
And 1 of the 3 was named Albert, correct?
Yes.
And it's against that backdrop that you wrote, nope, the homeowner's not going to get any shit because he's a cop, right?
That's not what I meant by that.
At 10:57, Bird goes on to write, he, the homeowner, must have been a puddle to accomplish that. And then he writes, who's the homeowner? And then he writes, I hope not, but I can see it. Correct?
Yes.
A puddle means drunk, correct?
That's a term for it, yes.
In other words, Bird wrote that the homeowner must have been so drunk, so wasted to have killed him. Correct?
Objection.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that text means?
Just the puddle part, Your Honor. That term.
All right, so he can answer that.
And the puddle part means drunk or wasted, right?
Yes.
And what Bird actually wrote was, he must have been a puddle to accomplish that. Correct?
That's what he wrote.
And then you write back, quote, she waffled him. I looked at his body at the hospital, right?
Correct.
You used the phrase waffled about a Boston police officer who had fallen in the snow and died in someone's yard. And you decided to use the word waffled him, correct?
Objection.
So sustained. Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
What is
Did you
waffle
answer, she waffled him, I looked at his body at the hospital?
I did answer that, yes.
And then Bird questioned, she waffled him, correct?
Yes.
And then you responded, he was banged up. Is that right?
Yes.
Then a person with the phone number 0095 wrote, I thought he was drunk. Did he get beat up? You see that?
I do.
And you wrote, nope. Is that right?
Correct.
Yet again, this is before 11 o'clock at night on January 29th, 2022, some 16 hours into your investigation. Is that right?
Yes.
So before you ever went to the crime scene, before you ever went into the house, only having interviewed 3 folks, you had this case nice and wrapped up, didn't you?
Yes. Based on the evidence my office uncovered that day, the one shoot discovered at the scene, the one shoot at the hospital, Mr. O'Keefe's injuries, the broken taillight pieces underneath the snow.
Super Proctor, I didn't ask for an explanation. I asked, did you, in your mind, have this case wrapped up? Was it cut and dry in your mind?
Yes.
Bird then writes, so the owner of the house was a woman cop that beat him, question mark, right?
Yes.
And then you wrote, that's what I initially thought after talking to Canton paramedics. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you said, then I saw the guy, correct?
Correct.
So what you meant by that, Trooper Proctor, was according to you, based on your conversations, your initial conversations with the paramedics, the first responders, you were under the impression that this was a beating death. He'd been beaten to death, correct?
The way it was given to me, sir, was
That's yes
a
or no?
medical.
That's yes
So
or no?
he's going to answer the question. If you want
Go
to
ahead.
withdraw the question, you can.
No, go ahead.
We entered this investigation with an open mind. It was given to me as a medical situation. And when we saw Mr. O'Keefe's body at the hospital, Sergeant Buchanan and I, we saw his injuries and we were kind of working through how these injuries occurred.
As a matter of fact, both you and Sergeant Buchanan believed that he had suffered the injuries as a result of a physical altercation based on information you received from the paramedics initially, correct?
Initially, we didn't know what we
Doesn't
had.
wanna-
We
doesn't
knew there
wanna
was
answer that
significant
one, Mark.
injuries to Mr. O'Keefe.
Yeah.
And we're still figuring out how those injuries occurred.
Well, you just testified. Initially, we didn't know what we had.
Right.
But 16 hours after the fact, you wrote the following sentence. That's what I initially thought after talking to Canton paramedics. Correct?
Correct.
So initially, you did think you knew what you had. A physical altercation leading to a death. Correct?
Correct.
So when you just said, initially we didn't know what we had, that wasn't quite true. You did at least have an idea of what you thought you had, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right. You were aware initially that John O'Keefe had suffered a 2-inch laceration to the back of his head, correct?
Yes.
That resulted in a skull fracture, correct?
Correct.
He had a laceration over his right eye, small laceration just under the eyebrow, correct?
Yes.
Had a laceration on his nose. Is that right?
Correct.
He had patterned scratches on his right arm, abrasions, scratches, correct?
Yes.
And he had no injuries below the neck.
Not that I observed, sir.
Not a single broken bone, correct?
Not that I was aware of.
Not a single fracture, correct?
Not that I was aware of.
Not a single bruise below the neck, right?
Not that I observed.
Looks a lot like a physical altercation, doesn't it?
Objection.
Sustained.
Bird writes, Bear, let's focus, correct?
Yes.
Who's Bear?
That's another nickname I have.
Jesus, he's got a lot of nicknames, Mark.
He does.
0095
Chip,
writes,
Bear.
what does she waffled him mean?
There you go.
And then Bird writes, what's the story, correct?
Correct.
And you wrote, she hit him with her car. Is that right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen, in your experience, have you ever seen a pedestrian who's hit by a 6,000-pound car with no bruises? Ever?
He only hit his head. She was good.
The pedestrian strikes I've seen have been at high speeds,
And that's
60
enough
plus.
A person out of a shoe, right?
60 plus miles per hour. So I can't recall right now, top of my head, as far as injuries in the past pedestrian strikes I've attended.
Okay. So someone, you indicated on Monday, under examination by Mr. Lally, you've seen a shoe missing,
Correct.
pedestrian strikes, correct?
Yes.
Those are high speed, extremely high speed incidents, correct?
Yes.
60 plus miles an hour, right?
I can't recall all the pedestrian strikes I've been to as far as the miles per hour the vehicle is traveling.
Trooper Proctor, let me ask you the question again. Have you ever, yes or no, have you ever, in your experience, seen a vehicle pedestrian incident in which the pedestrian has no bruises?
Objection.
Have you seen that?
I can't recall.
Next question.
That means you never have.
Right.
After you wrote, she hit him with her car, 5051 writes, oh, Jesus. And Bird writes, okay, that's fucked up, correct?
Correct.
And then you wrote what?
Intentional or not?
Intentional or not? Is that right?
Yes.
Your words.
Correct.
0095 then chimes in, gotcha. He was frozen in the driveway and she didn't see him? Question mark, correct?
Correct.
And you wrote what?
That's another animal we won't be able to prove.
That's another animal we won't be able to prove, correct?
Correct.
Trooper Proctor, you knew that there were going to be things in this case, even 16 hours into this, that you just admitted you would have zero proof of, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask it differently.
Did you mean by that statement that this was one of several things that you knew we would not be able to prove?
That statement, that's another animal we won't be able to prove, references the intentional or not part.
You
We
didn't
knew-
care at that point when you wrote that, you didn't care what you could or could not prove, did you?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Isn't that what you meant?
No.
You had a narrative that you had developed and you would pursue it no matter what the proof was. That's what you meant by that statement, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask it differently, Mr. Chair.
Did you mean by that, thank you, Your Honor, I didn't mean to step on your words. Did you mean by that statement that you were going to pursue this case no matter what the proof might be?
What I meant by that statement was if Miss Reed backed into Mr. O'Keefe intentionally or not.
Interestingly, though, that statement came on the heels of he was frozen in the driveway and she didn't see him. And you wrote in response to that question, that's another animal we won't be able to prove. Correct?
That's not what I was responding to. I was responding to the intentional or not part.
So you were responding to your own statement.
Correct.
Okay. 0095 then writes, what's the name of the Canton cop living in Canton? The other one involved. Correct?
Yes.
In other words, that person was asking, tell me the name of the homeowner. Isn't that right?
Yes.
The guy that's the cop, right?
Correct.
And you ignored that question for a second time. Is that right?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, not one time, not once in this entire group chat did you disclose the name Brian Albert, did you?
I don't believe so, no.
You were actively trying to hide Brian Albert's name, at least from this conversation.
Objection.
I'll allow it. Is that what you were trying to do?
Absolutely not.
But you had no problem sharing John O'Keefe's name with your buddies from high school, right?
Correct.
And you had no problem sharing Karen Reed's name with your buddies from high school, correct?
I don't believe I named the defendant.
Not yet, you didn't. Later in the chat.
Okay, correct.
5051 then writes, the BPD have any jurisdiction here because it was their own? Question mark. Is that right?
Yes.
And a few texts later, if you look down a few texts, at about 11 o'clock, you see a text that starts, nah, cat.
I do, sir, yes.
You responded, quote, nah, N-A-H, nah, cat, K-A-T-T. It's the total opposite. They have to recuse themselves. Same with Canton. Correct?
But Canton
That
never
text
did.
ends as they have to recuse themselves.
You then text back, I'm sorry, can I have a moment?
Yes.
Flip the next page.
I see where you're at, sir.
How did you end that text?
Same with Canton.
Meaning Canton has to recuse itself also, correct?
That was my understanding.
So by 11 p.m. on January 29th, 2022, there was no question in your mind, Trooper Proctor, that the Canton Police Department was recused from this investigation in all particulars, correct?
That they had taken a step back from participating, yes.
Right. Well, there's one way to put it. They've taken a step back from participating. Another way to put it is they recused themselves completely, correct?
Correct.
They were not going to be, at least in your mind, they were not to be involved in any way, just like Boston PD was not to be involved in any way. Is that right?
Objection.
Is that what you were thinking?
It was my understanding they were not going to be involved.
Now, if we could turn to page 2537, 5051 writes, but I assume you guys are out to make it cut and dry since it involves cops, correct?
Yes.
And Bird writes, something stinks, correct?
Correct.
And then Trooper Proctor, you responded, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So in that text exchange, you were saying, yeah, we're out to make it cut and dry, correct?
No.
You didn't write, yeah, we're going to follow the evidence wherever it takes us. You didn't, did you?
I did not write that.
You didn't write, yeah, we're going to make sure that we investigate this thing fully and thoroughly before making any decisions. You didn't say that, did you?
I did not.
You wrote, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl. Isn't that right?
Correct.
And the reason you wrote that is because you knew, as the text above it says, this has to be cut and dry because it involves cops, right?
Objection.
I'm going to allow that. Is that the reason you wrote it?
No, Your Honor.
And then you indicated We're going to put serious charges on the girl. Who did you mean by the girl, by the way?
The defendant.
Karen Reed?
Yes, sir.
So the way that you were going to make it cut and dry, pretty simple. Just pin it on the girl, right?
Objection.
Is that right?
Absolutely not. Follow the facts and the evidence from that day on the
Is this the
29th.
first trial or the second
Everything
one?
led
This
to
is the
Miss
first trial.
Reed hitting Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
That
That
ended
wasn't
up
the
in a hung
question that
jury.
you were answering,
Yeah.
was it? We're going to follow the evidence and make sure we do this thoroughly. The question you were answering was, I assume you guys, you, Trooper Proctor, and your team are going to, quote, make it cut and dry since it involved cops, meaning
Parts coming up
Brian,
that I want you to hear,
Albert.
so it's
correct?
a little bit.
Incorrect. Doesn't matter to me if the homeowner's a cop, if the victim's a police officer. Myself and everyone in my office investigated this case that Saturday, had an overwhelming amount of evidence that Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe. So it didn't matter to us what their occupation was.
We'll see. Let's keep reading, shall we? 5051, a little further down, says, gotta be. I could only imagine what internal affairs at BPD are trying to get out there. Correct?
Correct.
Meaning, this person, 5051, was opining, at least in your mind, you interpreted that as being Boston police are going to have a lot to answer for, given the fact that another Boston police officer was found dead on that officer's lawn. Correct?
Objection.
What were you thinking?
Can't speak to the mindset to that comment. I wasn't sure how to interpret that one.
All right, next question, Mr. Jackson.
Then 5051 changes gears and he writes, she hot at least,
There we go now.
correct?
Yes.
And what was your response to that?
From all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. She's a whack job cunt.
Uh-oh.
From all accounts, he
He's
didn't do
not
a
talking
thing
about
wrong.
his mom, is he?
She's a whack job cunt. That's what you wrote, correct?
Correct.
16
I think he
hours
should repeat
into
himself
this
again.
investigation,
Say it again.
Yes.
into your objective and unbiased, thorough investigation, correct?
Correct.
But sir, you didn't have all accounts, did you?
What I meant by that was
Did you or did you not have all accounts in your investigation?
the accounts we had was Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle, discovered taillight pieces at the scene. Those are the accounts we had.
The accounts
And
you
that's-
had,
taillights.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Late in
I'm
the
sorry,
day
go ahead.
after they got
The
her
accounts you
car.
had, Trooper Proctor, were from two people named McCabe and one named Albert, who happened to be the homeowner and a Boston cop. Those are the accounts from percipient witnesses that you had, correct?
There was another additional witness that we had investigators had interviewed, Miss Roberts as well.
And from all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. That was your decision 16 hours into the investigation, correct?
Yes.
And the other decision that you made and the other determination you came to was my client, Karen Reed, was a whack job cunt, right?
Yes.
What else did you say in response to she's hot at least? Or she hot at least, question mark.
So following that text, I responded, yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass.
Yeah, she's a babe. Who's the she?
Miss Reed.
Weird Fall River accent, though. You talking about her, the way she talks?
The accent.
And no ass. Now you're talking about her body or physique, correct?
Yes.
You think that's appropriate?
Absolutely not.
Then Bird chimes in with a little comedy. Not newsworthy then, correct?
Correct.
In other words, well, if she didn't have an ass, nothing to see here, correct?
Objection.
Sustain.
And then 5051 says, oh, she's skating, right?
Correct.
And what did you write after that?
My response was zero chance she skated.
And then what did you write?
She's fucked.
0 chance she skates. She's fucked, right?
Correct.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. 16
You
hours.
decided on the 29th
in a
of
reason,
January, 17
basically
hours into this
nobody.
investigation, you decided individually, Trooper Proctor, you're not only going to put it on the girl, you decided you're going to make sure this is cut and dried, and the way you're going to do it is to make sure that she's fucked. That's what you were saying.
Objection.
All right, so that's sustained. The content's fine. You have to ask it differently.
17 hours into this investigation, Trooper Proctor, you made the decision that you were going to put it on Miss Reed, didn't you? Put the case on Miss Reed. She was going to catch the case, correct?
No, absolutely not.
What did you
Can
mean
it be
then
not? Yeah.
when you said she's fucked?
After the day's investigation with multiple troopers conducting multiple tasks,
Notice how
debriefing at Canton PD amongst detectives in my office, we went through the overwhelming amount of evidence against Miss Reed that she struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
talk to
That's
three
what I
people
meant by that comment.
Yeah, exactly.
that were in the house.
What you meant by that comment, Trooper Proctor, was you were going to make sure because 5051 had said she's going to skate. She's skating. When you said 0 chance she skates, she's fucked. What you meant was, I am going to make sure Ms. Reed doesn't skate. She's fucked. That's what you meant, isn't it?
Objection.
Sustained.
And then Bird decides to chime in. Good, no ass bitch, right?
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And how did you respond to Bird saying, good, no ass bitch?
I laughed.
Thought that was funny, did you,
Yeah, I laughed.
Trooper Proctor? Thought that was funny?
It was unprofessional of me. That's something I shouldn't have done.
Well, I think we all know it was unprofessional. It was a lot of things. I'm asking
Yep.
you, did you think it was funny?
No, according to my response at the time, apparently.
Then you sent a picture just to add to it, to pile on, of Miss Reed being arrested, correct?
Not sure if that came from me, sir.
Let's skip to 2543. Are you there, Trooper Proctor?
Yes.
The date is now February 2nd, 2022. And a person by the name of Doc writes, is that chick a smoke? Correct?
Correct.
Who's the chick?
Miss Reed.
And you write, E-H, right?
Yes.
And then you write nutbag, as Chief would say, correct?
Correct.
16 hours.
Chief.
A friend of mine.
Yeah.
And then you write what?
She's got a leaky balloon knot.
Trooper Proctor, explain to the jurors what a balloon knot is.
Your essentially, I guess, your rectum area.
Your anus,
Yes.
that's what you were referring to about Miss Reed?
Yes.
And you were making fun of her because you believed at that time that it leaked? That's how you were treating Miss Reed? Yes or no?
Yes.
And then you followed that up just to make sure you cleared up any mistake about what you meant with leaks poo, correct?
Objection.
All right, so I'm going to strike that. You could get this in, but do it the right way, Mr. Jackson.
You followed that up with the phrase leaks poo, didn't you?
I did.
Again, another reference to Miss Reed's medical issues and medical conditions, correct?
Correct.
Specifically focused on her anus, correct?
In reference, yes.
I think he likes saying that.
So
Were you aware at the time?
it gets worse. It talks about shitting on herself and stuff like that. And I mean, just a complete piece of crap is what he was. But
Oh, lost your voice.
Are you still there? Am I there?
Nope, can't hear you.
You can't hear me? How about now? Must be on your end. I'm thinking.
Nope.
No? So let's hang on a second here.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
So Mark's having trouble again. It seems like Mark always likes to have trouble right when he's got to get out of here. And he thinks that's going to get him out of here faster if he says, "Oh, I got trouble. I can't hear you. So he does that. But when we come again, it'll probably be Monday, we'll get on again. I might get on over the weekend, but Mark could be back hopefully Monday or Tuesday, and we'll finish the Proctor stuff because I want to hear Mark's opinion of Proctor and so far what was going on and all that. And we might play just a little bit more of Proctor on Monday, just so Mark can hear some of the other text messages that he did and all that. Make him stay and work through the problem. Yeah, he gets frustrated. So he's already texting me. Everybody, I got to tell you, he's already texting me. And he says, "Oh, I have to jet in a few minutes." See, now all of a sudden he's got problems. And says he still can't hear me. So I'm going to have him go out and come back. So hang on. Go out and come back. Let's see what he does here. So we'll see if he comes back because I think the chat can hear me and I think the chat can hear him. But I don't know why he's not able to hear me through his little, I don't know if he's got a headphone on or not, or some ears. I don't know what he's got. So hopefully he'll get back in here and we can say a proper goodbye. And so here he is. Let's see if he's back now. Are you back?
I'm back, brother.
All right. So I told everybody.
Now you're gone again.
What does that mean? Are you there? Hello? Hello? I don't know why that's doing that. StreamYard maybe on his end? Could be. Or it's human error. Possible. Very much so. Possible. Are you there?
I can hear you.
All right, here we go. So I told everybody in the chat, I said every time Mark needs to get out of here quick, he goes, "Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I got a jet. I got to go."
That's
So what we're going to do,
the Dutch goodbye.
what we're going to do is on Monday, we're going to play just a little bit more of that because I want you to hear a little bit more of Proctor, and then I want to get your opinion. But so far, what do you think real quick about Michael Proctor? Everybody wants to in the chat.
He's, again, shows that he's incompetent. I just can't believe that. I watch a lot of cop shows on TV, so that makes me an expert, right? But, I use
some Holiday Inns too.
And I stay at the Holiday Inn Express, absolutely. But the incompetence on some of these people is just overwhelming. I mean, from the defense, watching some of the other trial stuff, it's just crazy. So I don't know where you get these incompetent people. I don't know.
And you know what hit a thing with me, Mark, and this is real quick because, of course, you lived it with me. But 12 years ago, I went through an incident where Karen Reed has I believe it's Crohn's disease. So she's had a lot of surgeries on her stomach. And so she's had a colostomy. All right. Well, you know yourself, I went through an incident in 2014, December, where an infection, bone infection, turned into something more. And I let myself get drained. And the next thing you know, I woke up 12 days later fighting for my life and had passed away twice on the table and ended up with one of those colostomy things. And it was like, you got to be kidding me. So then when it was brought up in a trial, I went, he's picking on her because of that. And that hit home, of course, as you would know. And it was such a struggle for me, as you remember, that,
I do.
that whole incident. It took almost, 12 years later, I still have a lot of different things about that. All right. Even mentally, because I lost a little bit of recognition because I was out twice for a couple of minutes. And just, sometimes it's hard for me to put together some faces that I've known for a long time.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, it'll come back to me. But it's like little stutters in my memory like that. So, it's you go through that stuff and then you hear it on a trial where he's making fun of it. And again, I go back to the part of this, Mark, that these are guys that we teach our kids that if we're in trouble, if they're in trouble, you go to a cop. They're going to help you.
Yeah.
And you got this. So Monday we'll come back. I know you're leaving for Louisiana on Wednesday.
Correct.
So Monday, maybe we can get back. And like I said, I want to go a little bit further in the Proctor thing. And then I want to do a couple of things of Turtle Boy. And Turtle Boy will actually be live tomorrow night, Saturday night. And I'm thinking, I want to know what the chat will think. And I want to know if you watch this later, all the people that usually watch this, I want to know if you think that I would like to do like an after show of Turtle Boy show, like later in the night. And I know he goes late sometimes, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock Eastern time. But I'm thinking about doing something after, kind of like the Rat House Media does it before. I'm thinking about doing it after. But tell me what you think, if that's a good idea to maybe do something like that. I know there's a few people that do it, that try to do something and all that. But I would like to try and just go over some of the stuff that Turtle Boy talked about and other stuff that's going on that we learned through the week. So let me know what you think about that in chat. Message me in Twitter, X, and everything. And then, Mark, we'll see you on Monday. I hope you have a good weekend. Stay safe. And
all right. You have a good weekend, too. And to all listeners, have a great, safe weekend. It's going to be fun.
And thanks, everybody, for showing up here. And make sure you hit the like, the share, and subscribe. We're over 100, and I appreciate you gave me that birthday present on my birthday that we went over 100 subs. But now let's push it to 200, all right? Come on.
Go.
All right. Thanks,
Take
Mark.
care.
Good day. Yep. Everybody, take care. We'll talk to you soon. Let me know what you think about going live after Turtle Boy on Saturday night. I think I want to do that, but I want to see what the chat thinks. I want to hear from the flock, all right? Let's hear from the flock.
The flock. All right, I'm flocking off. Here we go.
Bye.